Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of announcing to you that we are going to make an effort to repeat the old reveille. 1, 2, 3.
Here's the Hall of Shame, the Wall of Shame.
I love that picture.
Yeah, it's been a while back.
Sweet.
There's Einstein, your deal.
Yep.
Let me show you something about this picture here. Okay, this was an old strip center, one of the first strip centers in El Paso, down south El Paso. Okay, so my first thing I rented this corner one. Then business got a little bit better. I ran the one next door, okay? And then it got even better, but we had a laundromat in between. And then I rented this one. So we took this picture and cropped this out.
Oh.
There's a laundromat.
How funny.
So, yeah. Hey, Joe. How you doing, buddy? This is the Queen of Santa Fe. You've got 10 Ann Trading Post. How long have y'all had that?
46 and a half years.
46 and a half years.
Wow.
Her mother and dad. How long have we've been doing this?
46 and a half years.
Yeah. I know. This is a new, these have been very good. They are made to be a low price. It's made of acrylic, clean and nice. Recycled acrylic. And you got in the simple thing. Anytime you're weaving, you just zip that shuttle thing across, change color, zip it across. So, but now here you got to stop and work in the design. So the more stripes and the more solid, the faster it is to make. And the simpler the design is, it's easier to look what I like. Being old, when you're showing the rug, you can, let me show you this one here. No, don't worry. No, that's all right. Let me show you this one. You start messing things up.
Yeah.
And they feel all obligated.
Yeah.
Welcome to Cimarron's Big Guns. I'm Jamie Waite.
And I'm Bryce Waite.
And today we are in El Paso, Texas with the lovely Dusty Henson of El Paso Saddleblanket. Hello, Dusty. How are you?
Welcome to El Paso.
Thank you.
We've been looking forward to your visit.
Oh, thank you. We love it here.
Yeah.
El Paso is a great place. Just takes us a really long time to get here from Fredericksburg. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself? I know you have a book called Rugs to Riches that talks about how you started the company and got into this business.
Rugs to Riches. Now, riches, that's in friends and experiences. So, I don't have any money. So, her daddy's got all the money.
Oh.
We have been in, next year is our 50th year.
Congratulations.
And it's really, I would say, more stretching it a little bit. I was doing a little bit 50 years ago. It was about 44 or 5 years ago when we did the name. I have been married to Bonnie for 44 years. And then ever since we've been together, we've been full-time just doing saddle blankets and weaving and rugs. We started selling to the equestrian trade, just hand-woven saddle blankets in about 1975. And we had no staff. I had a Suburban and a 4-horse horse trailer. and we had 6 weavers in Juarez, Mexico, that we had them producing the things. At the time, I was bringing in yarn from carpet mills in Georgia and South Carolina, and we crossed it into Mexico, did some of the dyeing, and I pretty much took my time just to sell all that we were producing, and then we, as time went by, we got into more production, and then we got in, we were still basically gypsies. At that time, I had a travel trailer that we'd leave in the Phoenix. I had an apartment in El Paso, and we'd go back and forth. We had a great time, had a big German Shepherd that traveled with us. We had a lot of people. We got some of these people we're selling to this day. I'm very proud of that.
That's great.
And then as time went on, then we got permanent. I had a showroom and 2 stores in Phoenix, Arizona in the early 80s. And we were still going back and forth. And about 1984, we got rid of the stores in Arizona. Had a Navajo rug gallery where we sold just Navajo rugs. And then we came back here, and I was down on, we had a warehouse south El Paso. And we had 2 or 3 employees, and that grew out. We were there about a couple of years, and then we went downtown El Paso, where we were for 18 years. And then, after 18 years, we moved to our present location and been here about 10 years. One of the things I'm most proud of is I have got 3 girls that have been with me 30 years. A couple of guys 25 years, and a bunch of people 20. We have about 19 employees at this time. We had 50 at one time when we had the retail store, which we closed that in 2015, and just concentrating on the wholesale.
We know that having staff that's been there that long is no small feat.
Yeah, and we had a great customer in Fredericksburg, Texas. We have a great customer of famous people there, leading citizens, Jamie and Bryce here, and her father has been a friend for 25 years probably. He's an old gun trader, and he's great.
So tell me about how you met my dad.
I think the first time when we were in jail together, that was just trying to be cute. I met him through a German friend, a mutual friend of ours that later got murdered. But
Mr. Peter Stein.
Mr. Peter Steins, God bless him. And that's how I met him. And I sold him things. We traded. You know how guys get together, BS. And, so that was, we had a lot of fun. Mike's a nice guy. He's a very expert on guns of all kinds and antiques, and he's a lover of the Southwest. And he was also a friend of ours, McNellis. Bobby McNellis here, who owned the saddlery company and makes the fine holsters. They're in business to this day. And so that's how we got to be pretty good friends through the years. And he comes by here, and we went to Fredericksburg a time or 2.
You've done a lot of international business over the years. What are some of your favorite places to do business with, and what are some of the trials and tribulations with that? Because we have our own experiences at Cimarron.
I'll tell you, Canada is probably our best. And I'll tell you one thing I learned about selling international is, we are so lucky to be in America and have the laws that we have here. The other countries can be very problematic, corrupt. There's a whole bunch of things. But so it made me appreciate our country, the way we do things here.
Mhm.
And I can't say enough about the U.S. Post Office, the way they deliver our catalogs. I don't like anybody knocking the post office. There's some government departments that could probably use some good cleaning around, but I'm a big supporter of U.S. Post Office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we've gone into the internet age, and I got the younger people that can do that pretty good. Well, I think that's coming along.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you've always seemed to be able to roll with the changes, and
Yeah.
there's been a lot of them. I saw an article. I think Jamie sent it to me this morning, but it's from 2015, and it's saying that Donald Trump was going to possibly buy, like some of the real estate you're getting rid of here.
That was the biggest, hokiest fake news story in the history of El Paso.
How
We
funny.
shook them up. We blew the roof off of this town. We did it as as a joke. Donald Trump's going to buy the saddle.
That's funny. That's funny.
It hit the news statewide. Everybody was calling. Oh, it was a blast.
That's some great PR.
I'm just glad we didn't get sued by anybody for something. I'm
Yeah.
sure. But,
Sure, everyone appreciated the publicity. That's funny.
well, maybe not everybody, but yeah.
And she sent it to me this morning. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I've got some of the ones on, the newscast, the live casted.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of President Trump, you've had some very famous customers over the years.
Well, frankly, most of those customers are somebody you go in, you have a picture made, and you shake hands. I mean, so it's not a big deal. For the most part, we've had a lot of them pass through here, and we were on the interstate, and we'd always get the bands, but the main guys, they'd fly, so we'd always get the, bass players and the drummers. But we've got some good customers. And I'll tell you one thing I learned about celebrities. The old saying is, the bigger the star, the nicer they are. And I've sincerely believed that. Anyway, so we did a lot of things at the ranch. We bought a lot of old antiques. We bought shaps and old saddles and spurs and branding irons and wagon wheels. And so we do about a truckload a month, because all the people from all that. Chihuahua City is 5 hours drive south of here, so all that ranches all through that country. We bought a lot of things from the Mennonite farmers and Mexican ranchers. It was a wonderful time in our life. We don't have children. We have dogs and like dogs.
That's another question I had for you was, I remember one of the times I was here when you still had the retail portion, I think maybe every Saturday you had adoption events.
Yes.
I know you guys are very passionate about animals, so
Yeah.
I always thought that was great.
Yeah, and it was a good public relations, and we worked with rescue agencies, and we worked with Humane Society. Met some wonderful people, and people would come here every Saturday. We did it for 3 years, I think, 5 years. 6 years. And 2000, I think we kept a track, and I think it was 2,000 adoptions that we did.
Wow.
In that 6-year period. We get anywhere from none to 13 or 14 adoptions a day, probably average 6 or 8.
That's great.
And we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, one of my last questions of a project specifically that we've worked on with you is our Man with No Name poncho, which has been a big hit. People love it. So can you talk a little bit about working with my dad on developing
he
that?
was the brains and the money. I just counted the audience. And we set it up, and he sold a lot of them. man with no name.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, what does the future hold for El Paso Saddleblanket?
I'll just try to stay out of jail.
That's a good goal.
No, we just keep on. You know, we don't have hobbies, or I don't play golf. We don't have kids. Don't have any friends except y'all and my car being.
I don't believe that.
No, we have a good. I don't want to travel anymore. I've been there, kind of done that. You get old, you know. You're not as tolerant on things. We don't enjoy that as much. You need to when you're young guys.
Yep.
But,
I'm just about to the end of that, you know.
well,
I
you got a few miles left.
I want my dog. I want a big old black Lincoln.
Oh, God. 4 dogs.
4 dogs.
Big dogs.
Well, great. Well, thank you very much.
Anyway, well, I hope.
We're gonna go take a look around the joint and clean you out from some of your inventory.
I want to show you some new things that we've got now. We've gone digital to a lot of things. And we've got some things for you.
Great.
We'll do a line of, we'll do that man with no name placemat.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Bryce, bless your heart. See them old boots? Yeah. Them are all my boots. I've kept the boots all my life. They were in the attic of this house we did. I saw somewhere somebody had hung a bunch of boots up. I thought that'd be real cool, and I just had them.
That's
So
great.
we bring them all down here. We start stringing them up.
Tables forward.